Hey everyone, it's Ivan, KitBadger.com, out here for another episode of the 2021 Coast to Coast Tour. Picking up where we left off, we had just finished up our range day over there in North Carolina. Woke up, kind of a leisurely morning in our hotel in, I guess it's High Point, North Carolina, and got on the road. Pretty much stopped about a mile or two later because we were down about a quarter tank of diesel. So couple $100 later, about 70 gallons or so, a couple snacks, and we're back on the road grinding out the miles. Driving north, we cut our way through a number of different mountains, beautiful country, going up from, I guess, cutting initially into Virginia, and then actually going up into a little bit of West Virginia, dropping back down into Virginia again, and going through some incredible country. Geographically really beautiful, at the same time like pretty economically devastated. A lot of places just closed down, boarded up, but again, beautiful country out here. And eventually came down, crossed one more border, dropped down, coming down a grade into, I guess it's Elkhorn, Kentucky, I believe, and met up with good buddy Jason. Jason was actually camping south of us down in, I think, Asheville, North Carolina. And he's like, hey, I want to come up to the Kentucky range today. I'm like, that is awesome. And so he ended up actually driving up to meet us for some adventures up here. After a short reunion with Jason, checking out his pretty amazing new rig, incredible van and trailer, pretty much go anywhere. It's like, hey, you down for some adventure? So we ended up actually driving down a road. I was like, I'm not totally sure about this road, but pressed on and eventually got down, made our way, and finally found a place to actually park the bus on pavement, which is a huge bonus. And at that point, it was time for adventure. Had read about basically this really amazing swimming hole right there, kind of on the border of Kentucky and Virginia, I guess it would be. And I was like, I want to find this. According to the map, about 5,000 feet as a crow flies. So let's do this. And we set out. Initially, my father ended up turning back. He's like, I'm gonna go hang out on the bus, maybe drink a beer. I'm like, okay, because it started to get a little sketchy. And then eventually, we lost our cameraman. Not sure what happened. Come to find out later, I think he fell down, like probably almost died, and eventually made his way back to the bus. But myself, Noah's son Yuri, both my boys, and my buddy Jason, we continued on, and it was high adventure, but it was all worth it. We finally came around this last bend, huge trestle bridge, massive swimming hole, and a rope swing. A lot of fun ensued. To include, even from my boys, especially Jad, who's kind of dragging his feet, like, is this even gonna be worth it? We could swim here. But once we were up there, everyone had a blast. It was incredible.
Yep.
But we had to make our way back down, and it's like, how are we gonna do this? Because the biggest kind of hang up was Noah had his camera, and pretty much everything else we had could either get wet or is in like a little small like waterproof box, like phones and stuff. So it was like, how are we gonna approach this? Well, on the way up there, we found this tube, basically like kind of a floating tube, and also found an old roll of duct tape. So between those two things, we basically got busy, one, pulling the thing inside out, getting it really nice and dry. And then I think we tied off one side, again, wrapped it with tape. Ended up wrapping his camera in all kinds of things to include his extra lens and basically dry t-shirts, then a little rain show I had, then in duct tape, put that in there, tied off the other end, again, wrapped it in duct tape, and started making our way back down the river. After making it back down successfully, no one died. Definitely had to, I'm pretty sure, carry Peanut across some rapids, but that's what it is. Made it back there and ended up cutting that thing open, our big pig's egg. It was actually dry, it worked. A little bit of ingenuity and some engineering out there with random found things. But once we got back here, it was raining pretty good. Took that time for a little outdoor showering, and then the rain of course stopped, so had to finish off with some water. And then after that, we changed and we're looking at the time. Again, little town, Elkhorn. We're like, man, it's Sunday. It's already like 8:30. Everywhere's probably gonna be closed. But ended up driving into town. Sure enough, we found the one restaurant which was not closed. Sat down for a nice meal. I say nice meal, we were all hungry. It was actually pretty good food, really awesome people. But wrapping up there, headed back out and settled in for a night's sleep, camping out, both on the bus as well as in some of the luxury accommodations that my buddy Jason brought. But that right there wraps up this episode of the 2021 Coast to Coast Tour. Be sure and join us next time as we continue the adventure. And as always, thanks for joining us at kitbadger.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.